Experience prunes the brain, but that's not the only thing that shapes who you are. Because no matter what kind of life you've led, the brain is also on a predetermined schedule dictated by genetics. And that means there are major changes in store.
In our teenage years, hormones course around our bodies, causing dramatic physical transformations. But out of sight, our brains are undergoing equally monumental changes. Ones that profoundly affect how we behave and react to the world around us. We all intuit that teenagers have a different view on the world than children or adults. But what's not always obvious is that the way teens see the world is not simply a choice or an attitude. Instead, it's the consequence of a changing brain that's right on schedule. Who they are right now is biological and inevitable. To get a sense of the teen brain at work, we're running an experiment. With the help of my graduate student, Ricky Sevjani, we're going to rig up volunteers of different ages to a machine that measures stress levels by gauging changes in their sweat glands. I'm Dr. Eagleman. Then we have them sit in a shop window to be gawked at by passersby. Okay, cue the curtain. First up, an adult. Luisa's stress response seems to be holding about steady at a pretty low level. It's clear that she's responding to people being there, but her stress response is simply not going up. But in the same situation, the teen brain responds very differently. That's a big response. I've got to auto scale her heartbeat because it's gone up so much. Yeah. Her galvanic skin response is really high now. It just keeps going up. It suggests she's stressed out. Hi, Xander.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. The more that he averts his gaze, the higher his stress response is going. So this is presumably his response is to pretend like he's not there. What words would you use to describe how it felt?
Awkward, weird, pretty much.
It was different, having people just like stare at you and not knowing what they're thinking.
So why the big difference in response between the adults and the teenagers? The answer involves an area of the brain called the medial prefrontal cortex. It becomes active when you think about yourself, especially the emotional significance of a situation to yourself. As one grows from childhood into adolescence, the activity in this area rises, peaking around 15 years old. Now, social situations carry a lot of emotional weight. In adults, the stress response from that feeling of being looked at is relatively modest. But in teenagers, that same experience causes social emotions to go into overdrive. The result is a stress response of high intensity. It's not just about self-consciousness. The development of the teen brain has other consequences, including poor impulse control. Parts of the prefrontal cortex are still developing. Those parts are involved in simulating the consequences of actions. And that translates into greater risk-taking.